Hey guys, Nathan Brendan Masters. As some of you know, last week I uploaded my cinematography reel, and today I'm just going to talk about it a little bit and how I made some of the choices and things I made and how you can make your cinematography reel. So let's do it. Real quick guys, before we jump into this, if you find this video helpful or you just enjoy this kind of content, leave a like on the video. You'd be surprised at how that actually helps videos like this move up in the algorithm. If you have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the comment section. Okay guys, so we are in Final Cut Pro. This is my timeline. So the first thing you want to do is choose a theme. And the theme I went with was danger and intrigue. So that's kind of the feeling I wanted people to get from this. So I put in some things that had some emotional weight, start off like that. And then I let things build over time. So you get these kind of things, got the emotional weight, and things kind of start ramping up. You get that danger in there. And then as this happens, you want the music, and we'll get into music in a minute. You want the music to start ramping up. And then we'll get into, like, from here, the fights, special effects, things like that. So this is where all the, what I call badassery comes in play. Now, I'll tell you something about me. I will always err on the side of cool. Cool, badassery, whatever you want to call it. I'll always err on that side because that's the thing that's going to jump out. This is a visual medium. A lot of times, if somebody's coming to me to do something, it's because they heard somebody else say, Nathan can do this. And I work, a lot of times people who come to me, they're doing an independent thing and they want someone that can make it look good. So that's what I do. I cut something together to make your thing look good, particularly if you're, like with trailers and things like that. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to choose projects that you really like, that you looked at and said, I really like this. I like the way this was shot. I like the way this looked. I like the things I did. Me, I have a bit of an issue because of the fact that I'm in a lot of my projects. So stuff like The Perfect Letter, though there are things in there that I'm actually proud of, the thing is I'm in almost every scene in The Perfect Letter. So people looking at these clips don't really have time to figure out why you're actually in the reel. That's a cinematography reel if you're actually shooting the scene and you don't want to do anything that's going to make them immediately kind of start questioning you. You want everything to be like, for me, I want things to be like, oh, he did that. Oh, it's like, because even if they don't hire me for that project, keep in mind, this is the guy that did that thing that looked cool. So that's my thought on it. The film that I really liked the way it looked was Transit. So, there's a lot of transit stuff here. Epitaph Bread and Salt, of course. I liked this scene. I took the whole thing where he's massaging the shoulders and then he walks around here. And I really liked the way this looked. The thing is, what I really wanted to do was shoot from outside the window and shoot in. So I wanted him looking out the window. But at the time, I didn't have the stuff to do that kind of scene. So I could do that now, but I didn't at the time. I didn't have the stuff to do it. This is also from Epitaph Bread and Salt. I really like this scene. I like the look that she does here. So I like that. And then we go back into this. These are shots I took from the Crisis Function Awakening trailer. This is a nun. He's one of the secret agents in that movie. We got Shannon in there, and this is when you start getting into the danger. It's all the suspect stuff. I cut that together with Paul from Ambient Evil. So it all looks like it's one thing, but this is all the dangerous stuff. You got the spies and you got the serial killer. And then we go into Michael. This is Michael Moody. This was just a cool scene. Again, I like the way this was shot. This is Anita and Shannon from Crisis Function 2. So I like this moving camera shot right here, and she's reacting to being shocked, So a little bit of some sketchy stuff going on. So I like those type of scenes. This is Heather and Claire. And this becomes the point for the action and stuff like that. So this is Heather playing Lauren from Epitaph Bread and Salt. And she's getting an attitude with Claire, who's playing, I Al Wise. She's in her face about stuff, and Al just grabs her finger and then gives her a palm strike. But we cut to Adam Hassan, who is actually fighting a vampire at this point. And I wanted to get this special effects shot in here. This is Video Copilot. You want to learn some quick After Effects special effects, go to Video Copilot. I wish all of my effects had done this, but I tried to vary them up, and that was a mistake. All my vampire dusting effects should have looked like this. But go from that into this fight scene, just like this. And so you're going to get all this cool stuff. Again, remember what I said? Anything that's cool, I'm always going to err on the side of cool. So this kind of fight, err on the side of cool. The only reason this scene is here is for this. The way the train light goes past them, yeah, I wanted that in there. So this, this is something, okay. This is something from Ambient Evil. Gloria's walking, and he kind of moves over to, so she doesn't see him. So there's a point in the middle where he takes a little bit of time to get to the side over here, and I just sped it up. And that scene in the movie doesn't look as cool as I made it look on the reel. Again, I typically don't like to be in my cinematography reels and stuff like that, but I added this scene simply because of the fact that the lights and stuff in the background and the way the reflections look and everything. It's just one shot. And I was like, I'll just throw that in there. They should be okay with that. Now, this is a scene I shot. I was on the platform waiting for a train, but it added to the vibe of the reel, so I threw it in. In fact, at this point, I'm just showcasing things like this handheld shot with Anita, and this shot under the bridge. Great horror film shots, pan up from the trains. And I wanted to showcase this scene as well. I originally shot this with an action camera, and you guys know I have Alex 4D, so I actually took the fisheye out, and this is what it looks like. So I definitely threw that on there. And at the end, I put my contact info. Anyone I'm sending this to will have my actual email. And at the end there, you saw the credits for the music, so we're going to actually talk about that. You see I have 3 audio tracks here, and I was running these tracks with the visuals to see what works best. Now, once you pick out your clips, you can do one or two things. You can arrange your clips the way you want them arranged, or you can cut the clips to the music. What I tend to do is I tend to arrange the clips first because I get a better idea of what I want. So what I had here is I had a timeline for 2 minutes. Let's see. I don't think this one, this didn't go the full 2 minutes. This went to a minute and 41 seconds, and it's actually a minute and 39 seconds. So it didn't go the full 2 minutes. So I got the clips that I thought would really kind of convey what I wanted to convey. Just, anything that I thought was really visually pleasing, visually stunning. And I put that out there, put those clips together, and then I needed music to go under it. So the first song I picked was the song Royalty. This is an Egzod song. They made Paper Crowns and stuff like that. If you're on No Copyright Sound, you'll find a lot of Egzod. I know they make good stuff, so I got this. So it's a good opening. It starts off very nice. And then I went through the song to kind of see where it's going to ramp up at. And so you don't get anything, you don't really get going into around this point. So what I would have to do, if I were going to use this, I would have to cut this here and find a point where the action starts getting, where the action ramps up. Now, the action doesn't ramp up until here with Heather. And so just to see what this would be like if I were to do it. Okay, so bring it in a little bit. You want to have it kind of jump up on impact. So, I mean, it could work, but you keep it in the back of your mind, like, okay, this could work. There's a way, obviously there's a way you could make this song work with this, but is there something that can work better? So you're going to go through other stuff to hear what works. Okay, now this is a very popular song from an NCS artist called Suburban, and chances are you've heard this before.
Inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the corridors, profanities.
Now, this song is a nice song, but there's no way that this matches the tone of my reel. And I really like this. At the time I was making my reel, a friend of mine was making a reel, and he showed me his reel, and I used this song for his reel. So I threw this on there and used that for his reel, and it worked amazing. It just worked out amazingly. So, but it just wouldn't have fit for what I was doing. I can see it's working maybe if I did Epitaph, Bread and Salt, and Crisis Function, The Perfect Letter. Those, particularly Epitaph and Perfect Letter, I could see that in Transit as well, because we had a little supernatural stuff in there. I could see that working with this, but I didn't use that. So this was one that I almost knew when I first heard it that I was going to use it. That's how when you first hear something, you go, this is it. This is what I need right here. And I'll tell you something funny about this. I had heard this song before, so it was in the back of my mind, but I lined this song up perfectly. This is another Egzod song. They make a lot of great songs. The vocals on here are Anna Yvette. So Naomi and Anna Yvette, they tend to do vocals on Egzod songs. And this was perfect. And I knew this song existed, but I didn't actually remember the song. And when I put it under here, I had it cut in a different way. What I ended up doing was cutting the reel to the lyrics of this song. And so certain things I did during, the rise of the song. And there you go. So at this point, everything just rises. Bang, right there. And like a lot of times, like songs will have these, like crashing cymbals and stuff. This is actually a friend of mine's sister who played one of the vampires in Epitaph, Bread and Salt. But I put that in there simply because of the drum beat right there. So when we started the reel, everything was about feeling, emotion, people kind of maybe in trouble or people who are seeking to do bad things to people. You had that whole thing there. And all this builds up into the inevitable conclusion, which is good versus evil. That's what you get. So there's a story actually told in the reel. Now, you may not exactly know what that story is. If you've seen my films, you know who some of these characters are. But the reel is telling a story. I'm not expecting everybody to get that story. All I really want people to do is go, that's cool. I think I want to hire that guy. So that's how I put my reel together. And again, the big deal is at the end of your reel, you just want the person to go, I think I want to hire that person. In a visual medium, that's what you want to impress upon people is look at this thing I did and how I can make it look. And if you can do that and that stays with somebody, then you've done your job. So you do what you can and you try to get it out there. Now, how many jobs will this particular reel get me? I don't know. I got one project coming, but that project was coming before this reel was made. But a friend of mine was in the same situation that I was, where he was getting, he was getting jobs. He does music videos, but he was getting jobs based on word of mouth. And hey, this guy shot this video for me. This guy shot that video, and he was getting work. The thing about it is he got into a situation where somebody asked him for his reel, which he hadn't made. So he did make one, and that got me to thinking, hey, I should do that too. If it ever comes up, somebody wants to do a narrative project, I'll have this reel to show them. Especially, again, I tend to work with indie people, and a lot of them are doing action, horror, stuff like that. So they want to see stuff like this. Other than that, you guys take it easy. Nathan Brendan Masters. Awesome.